What's happening, guys? This training session was the first half of this video will be mostly just like a accessory core work and some supplemental back work, direct back work. When I'm training the main lifts that I use, I'm still at a point in my training where I'm trying to kind of have a timer on how long I'm spending in the gym. It's just a way to kind of regulate me, and sometimes when I'm in the gym doing some basic push movements or squats or deadlifts or whatever, I can get carried away and stay in there for far too long, getting too much volume in. So if I can group some of my accessory core back work in onto a separate day altogether, that's just a good way of limiting me. So I did some direct shoulder stuff just to rehab, and then I also did some carries, some sled pulls, just all kinds of things to make me move in a direction or in a way that I don't normally move in. So, some of the more controlled lifts that I do as part of my core routine. So this was a cool, just trying to do a sled pull, but do it in a little bit more of a twisting rotational pattern, and then high-low carries. If you've never done high-low carries, it's a pretty interesting way, especially if you can extend overhead like I was doing with it, pressed overhead. It's a good way to address the core in kind of a different way. And then the shoulder back rehab stuff. Direct back work, it's really no secret that athletes need to have good, strong backs. At least Highland Games athletes and strength athletes in general need to have big, strong backs, and getting that in a bunch of different ways. You can do bent over rows. I got the Hammer Strength ISO low row machine at the gym, and it's a great piece of equipment. It's a good way to address the upper back without having a lot of shearing force on the lower back. You can really stack some weight on there. It's nothing to go with like I got here, 3 plates, maybe even up to 4 plates, and really address the upper back, your lats, your rhomboids, your traps, the whole deal. And of course, good old-fashioned lat pull downs. Nothing crazy about these. I just do whatever handle tickles my fancy that day, and whatever orientation of the hands, etc. So it's just about getting the back work in a whole bunch of different ways, not doing the same thing all the time. Correlates over to a lot of different things, but just keeping that healthy, strong back, it allows you to train, your deadlift more effectively, your squat more effectively, your bench more effectively, and it gives you the strength that you need in controlling these heavy weights that we throw as well. And then, starting on this next day, this is more of my push day, my upper body push day. Starting out with some of the basic stuff, getting some movement, getting the core activated, doing that unilateral carry like I do with the sandbag on the shoulder. Is a good way to it actually does a little bit for the upper back as well, as far as getting warmed up there. Forces you in a good posture so you can carry that thing around. And some thoracic rotation stuff as well, because I suck at that always, and I'm always looking to improve it. Throwing hammers should be a lot better this year than I have been. Just some pretty mediocre numbers, and really it comes down to not having a hammer in my hands enough this year. So even when I get in the gym here, I can at least get the hammer winds, and that's something I'm going to have to keep doing through my off season as well. However long that off season might be, there's nothing wrong with doing hammer swings all year long. Even if you're trying to step away from throwing, this is just a good way to keep everything healthy. I mean, I think I've always said that if you can throw hammers well, and even in your older years, that's something to be said about that for the overall health of your system and your body. Does it contribute directly, or is it something that is an indicator if it doesn't feel good? I don't know. I think it contributes. I think any of that loaded motion in a controlled fashion actually contributes pretty well to just keeping the spine moving in a maybe a more natural way, maybe in a more less controlled fashion than say your deadlift or really locked in, but puts it under some unique dynamic forces that you don't get in a lot of lifting, but you might get in just regular life. And instead of benching on this day, I did some overhead presses and with the fat bar, because I like overhead pressing with the fat bar more than I like with the barbell for whatever reason. I'm kind of doing a linear progression with this. I'll do this over the next 3 weeks just to kind of push those numbers up just a little bit. So I think I worked up. I was at 225 for sets of 2, something like 5 or 6 sets of 2, and I'll just bump that up over time, over the next few weeks. Get back up to where, decent push numbers. As long as it's going fast enough, that's what I'm worried about. And it's push presses are a great way to incorporate that press from the drive from the ground, getting some hip action in there. So definitely a recommended lift for any thrower. Now, as I stated, I only do 2 or 3 reps. When I'm catching in the rack position from an overhead position, it does put a lot of stress on my shoulders, and unnecessary stress in my opinion. If I can find a way to get fewer reps of coming down, catching it like that, then I'll do it, and I'll just do it by increasing the number of sets and decreasing the number of reps, because left shoulder's already got a little bit of funk in it, and I'm not trying to have more. But yeah, that's it. Push hard, train hard, enjoy.
La perreaba en su niñez para lograr lo que ahora es, con botellitas doradas y un gallito para el estrés. Miguelito. Óyeme, ey. Alucinaciones, bonitos colores, aquí fumando flores. Acabo de ver la verdad. En lo profundo de mi mente será vidente. No fue un accidente cuando tú lo hiciste. Una gatita atrevida. No. En tu mirada fría falta mucha vida, con tus juegos de engaño sutil. No hay luz ni pureza, solo queda el eco de ti. Ey. Gata traicionera, detrás de su belleza. Gata traicionera, detrás de su belleza. Ey. Detrás de su belleza se esconde la tristeza, se esconde la tristeza. Gata traicionera, gata, gata.